not in Kansas anymore.
You have my curiosity.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
The Force will be with you. Assemble.
Welcome back to Get Real, the podcast where we get real about all of your favourite pop culture movies and TV shows. My name is Sam, and with me, as always, is my merrily, jerrily, Christmassy co-host, Chris.
Hello!
I didn't know where I was going with that.
Christmassy co-host.
I didn't even think about it, and then I realised, no, I can carry on because it's kind of relevant, I suppose.
Merrily, jerrily. I like it. I mean, I've never heard that term before, but we'll go with it. Christmas was there. So.
It's the holiday season.
'Tis the season.
This is episode 51, and this week we're going to talk about the Mandalorian season 2, and we're going to keep up with that. And we're also going to talk about the Star Wars holiday special that landed on Disney Plus this week as well.
It's a big old Star Wars bonanza.
Sorry, Lego Star Wars holiday special, just to be precise.
We're not talking about the 80s holiday special. When did the holiday special come out? 70s, 80s?
Well, it was after A New Hope, wasn't it? Or was it after Empire Strikes Back? Where does that remember. Sit in the Star Wars timeline?
Rabbit hole already. We love a good preamble.
Anyway, Chris, what have you been watching this week while we check the timeline?
What have I been watching this week? So, the one that I forgot to talk about last week, if you remember me fluffing over my words thinking I forgot about something, I watched Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Watched it in one sitting because I didn't realise there was only 6 episodes and they're only like 24 minutes long. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really funny. The first 2 episodes, I don't think I stopped laughing for the entire 50-minute runtime. It was just my sense of humour completely. It's massive in the world of podcasts, because it's is this the first podcast that's got a Netflix show or a big show out of it?
Yeah, so what, is Auntie Donna used to be is a podcast, or is it comes up as a musical group, to be fair?
So I think they started off as a sketch comedy group on YouTube, who then started a podcast, and then they got big with the comedy podcast, and they have done music as well. I don't think the music is as big as the sketch comedy, as far as I'm aware, anyway. I know they have released maybe 1, maybe 2 albums of comedy songs.
Yeah.
But they do live stage shows and everything like that. And I think if you've seen the latest live stage show, which is on YouTube if you want to check it out, it's fucking hilarious. It's 2 hours long and you just have your sides being split. A lot of the jokes are recycled for the TV series, but if you're going into it without having seen that, then all the jokes will be fresh for you, so it's sound.
Cool.
I think it's definitely, if you like dumb slapstick comedy and funny wordplay and stuff, it's just anti-comedy is what it is. It's pretty funny.
You've got Ed Helms in that and Anthony Starr and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. Jack Quaid makes a little appearance in it as well. They just had Jack Quaid on their podcast as well. Anthony Starr's in one episode of it. Ed Helms pops up a couple times because he's an executive producer on the series. Or Egg Helms, as we find out in the show.
Right, cool. It's one of those things. It's on the list. It's on the list because I've heard good things about it, and I've seen a lot of promo material.
You can definitely just get through it dead quick, or just slap an episode on while you do something, and then just as a short little giggle or something. It's not something where you need to binge it in one go. It's just because I was doing other stuff and I didn't realise that there was only 6 episodes, so I ended up blowing through it. I was like, that was the last episode.
Cool. Awesome.
Hopefully it gets to season 2. Yeah. I can't remember what films I watched this. I don't think I've watched any films this week, actually. I've watched The Crown, all of season 4 of The Crown.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jolly good.
Jolly good.
It's jolly good. The Queen is very much sidetracked in this series, though. It's all about Charles and Diana, which I think they're both great actors in their own right. It is, I think, rather inaccurate. It is very over-dramatized, which I think the whole series has been. A lot of people are taking stuff as face value. This is the hard truth. A lot of it is based off the truth, and we know how much of a fucking shithead Charles is, especially when it came to their relationship and everything. But we're not here to get political. But I think a lot of it is very much over-dramatized as well. They tried to make Margaret Thatcher a little bit sympathetic in the first episode, and then they just steered directly into her being a cow.
Okay.
Which
brave.
I was like, this is a weird twist that they're trying to make Margaret Thatcher, who was hated by the entire country, although she stayed in office for 11 years. We weren't around during these times. We weren't born at this point, but considering how hated she was by the majority of the country, how did she keep getting voted in?
Yeah.
That's what true. I don't get. They tried to make it a little bit sympathetic in the first episode, and then after that, they were just there like, right, now she's a bitch.
Yep, that's it. Out with her.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good watch. The acting's great in it. The writing is pretty sharp in it. So, yeah, I would say that. And then, last night, I started Marvel 616 on Disney+.
Okay, cool.
So this is like a documentary series. It's like hour-long documentaries about different subsections of the Marvel brand and the Marvel business and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really insightful. It's really amazingly put together. It's like beautiful to look at because it's on Disney Plus. Obviously, it's got that Disney money. But it's weirdly heartfelt at times as well. Like I wasn't expecting like a couple of times like to start almost getting choked up. Like the first episode's about the Japanese Spider-Man TV show from the 70s, early 80s.
Okay,
I'm struggling to remember the date now. And like I was like, oh, that show. Oh, I've seen parts of that show. Right, okay. Spider-Man, like he gets his powers from a blood transfusion from a guy from the planet Spider. And he doesn't actually have like web shooters and stuff like that. He's got like this big chunky metal thing and he's got a Megazord and he's got a car and stuff like that.
Of course he does.
But it's like a weirdly poignant thing. Like towards the end of the episode, they start talking about how it's like largely about like family and everything like that, and how connected he is with his younger siblings and stuff, and how a large part of the show is him like teaching kids like morals and lessons and stuff, and like picking up the downtrodden and stuff. And then you find out that the lead actor, like 2 months before he filmed the pilot episode in which Spider-Man's dad dies, he lost his dad, and it just gets really emotional. It's just like the only time he got to improvise a line was him saying goodbye to his dying father and everything like that. And I was like, oh God, okay. Like this actor's just like getting choked up telling you about it. I was like, oof. And then the second episode's all about the women throughout Marvel's history and everything like that, and how it led to characters like Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel and stuff. And I was like, just a fascinating, amazing episode. Yeah, definitely worth a watch, definitely.
Cool. Wow, seems like you've watched quite a bit this week.
Quite a bit, yeah. What have you watched?
I've watched a lot of Christmas films over the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
I've not really had a lot of chance to kind of sit down and watch anything. I mean, I've carried on with The Walking Dead. I'm on the latest season now, season 10.
As always, yeah.
Which I'm nearly up to date on, which will be nice so that I can
give us your season 9 review then. Quick run up. Not too many spoilers because it's still quite new.
Spooky zombie, but not zombie people are spooky. That's the roundup.
Is it still enjoyable? Are you still enjoying it? Like even after, like we said last time, a lot of the cast that we cared about aren't in it anymore. Are you still connecting with it?
I mean, I'll be honest. Even more cast have gone now at the end of season 9. I read the synopsis for season 10 because it was on Amazon Prime, but you had to like do that thing where you have to buy it to watch it.
Yeah, because it's still new.
Yeah, so I read that. And it's like the group are still shocked by Alpha's display of power. And I'm like, oh shit, something happens at the end of season 9. And damn right, something happens at the end of season 9. But it's one of them, it's like, you're not, because these characters are still quite new, like, well, to me, a lot of them are quite new. You don't have that feeling like in the earlier seasons when Glenn gets his face smashed in. You know what I mean? You're not getting that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
But I think they purged the cast a bit too much all in one go, didn't they? And you're left like, okay, let's get attached to these new characters, I guess.
Yeah, and it does a good job of trying to do that, but they're just not iconic enough. Like,
it just don't hit different. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it just don't hit right. It hits different, mate. But yeah, no. So. Other than that, in terms of the Christmas films I've been watching, I watched Christmas with the Coopers, which is a classic.
Oh, yeah. I went to the cinema to see that one.
Yeah, and I've noticed with a lot of Christmas films, my God, there is a lot of big actors and actresses in all of these Christmas films.
Yeah, I'm checking which one.
Christmas with the Coopers. So Christmas with the Coopers.
Oh, 2015. No, I didn't go to see that one.
No, yeah. So Christmas with the Coopers. Hang on. Christmas with the Coopers was also called Love the Coopers in another country, I think.
Yeah.
So that's
that's the John Goodman, Olivia Wilde, Egg Helms.
Yeah, exactly. Egg Helms is in there. Anthony Mackie was in there, who has no facial hair. So when I was watching it, I was like, when I first saw him in the police outfit, I was like, is that Anthony Mackie? I was like, is that Anthony Mackie? And then I quickly Googled it. I was like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Marissa Tomei's in there as well.
Timothy Chalamet.
I was thinking, is that him on the poster? But he doesn't get his name on the poster like everyone else does.
No, well, if it was bloody 2020, he'd be getting his name on that poster. Yeah. You get what I mean?
Not to be mistaken by Cooper's Christmas. Oh my god, that's another poster that's just come up. Holy shit!
But when I was watching this, I was like, I thought it was that film where I thought Christmas with the Coopers was that Adam Sandler film where it's like, but I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of like when he goes on holiday, and it's like two families or something go on holiday, and it's like, and it's something.
Just go with it. With Jennifer Aniston?
No, it's something with the something. Something with the and that's what I mean. But
something with the something and the something and something.
Yeah, I don't know. One of them anyway.
I thought you were talking about Christmas with the Cranks to begin with.
That might be the film that I'm thinking about.
No, Christmas with the Cranks is from years ago. That had Matthew Broderick and Christmas with the
Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, no, I was thinking of an even different one. Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks is that one. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen, where they tried to get away for Christmas without the family. Yeah. Which is the one with?
Well, while you think of that, I also watched Klaus or Klaus or Klaus or however you say it. Which is the animated film from last year, which has got the postman.
I'm guessing it's Claus, like Santa Claus, but it's
but they all call him Klaus in the film. So it's
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably Klaus then.
It's Claus with a K. So
yeah, it's the German spelling, isn't it?
That was quite nice. That was a good film. Rate it highly. I watched then part of The Holiday and fell asleep because at this point I was just totally just overwhelmed by Christmas movies. I was like, I can't watch anymore. So I fell asleep through the first half of The Holiday, and then I was awake for the second half of Love Actually, which yes is one of the best.
We watched
Christmas
The
films.
Holiday last week, and I don't know if I talked about it last week. I'm not really like. Round about now is when I'll start watching Christmas films, like end of November for me is like when I start watching Christmas films. So we watched The Holiday the other week. I don't think we finished it in the end. I don't remember watching the end of it anyway, but I think I was doing something else at the same time anyway. I'm always on my laptop while I'm watching films at the moment.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Love Actually. That is my go-to Christmas Eve film. Like, this is my first time like spending Christmas Eve with Charlotte this year, so I don't know if I'll do it the same, but normally it was Christmas Eve, I would wrap all my presents, have a couple beers after I got in from work, and watch Love Actually by myself. Like, that was like my go-to routine. Love that film. Love it.
I literally tuned into it just before the Andrew Lincoln sign at the door. Say it's Christmas carolers. It's like, yes. But what again? Christmas films. What a bleeding cast! Like Hugh Grant, Keira Knightley, Colin Firth, Liam Neeson, Thomas Brody Sangster, who was in The Queen's Gambit recently.
Yeah. He was also in The Force Awakens.
Was he?
Yeah, he played. When Finn and Poe are escaping the Star Destroyer at the beginning. He is the guy that picks him up on the radar and gets blasted in the face as they're leaving.
Oh,
when that entire room gets blown up. Yeah.
No way. Oh, I didn't even.
He was in Game of Thrones as well.
It's one of the. Oh, I know he was in that, but he must have. It's in like a blink and you'll miss it moment in Star Wars.
Yeah, literally.
Andrew Lincoln, Bill Nighy, Alan Rickman, Olivia Olsen, the guy who plays Baron Mordo. Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Yep, you know how we love to butcher names on this podcast.
That's one name I don't butcher.
No, Rowan Atkinson, Mike Frew, just loads and loads of people are in that. So yeah, it's cool. I didn't realise Billy Bob Thornton.
Who's Elizabeth Olsen in Love Actually?
No, Olivia Olsen. She's from The Office.
Oh, Olivia Olsen.
Yeah.
I thought you said Elizabeth Olsen.
No, she's not from The Office. No, she's not. No, she's not. That's a very bad reference. Sorry. She's not from The Office at all.
I don't get what you're saying anymore.
Doesn't matter. She's the kid in it.
She is the kid.
Yeah, for God's sake, getting myself all mixed up. But anyway,
cut to an ad break. Quick, play us off.
Are you sick of your shavers? And do you want?
No, we're not sponsored by them yet.
No. Are you sick of people seeing what your internet history is?
No, we're not sponsored by them either. No.
Are your underwear comfortable?
No. Mac Walden is not sponsoring us.
Oh God, got it all wrong. All wrong.
Right.
Anyway, that's it. I don't think I've been watching anything else.
But I mean, that was enough. We've watched enough.
We've watched enough
enough
to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. On to some news. Do you want to get on some news? Some news?
Is it new news or old news?
I got some new news.
It's a week old news.
I've got news from an hour ago.
Oh wow! Beep 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 beep.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
Go for it. Let's hear it.
So the first bit is that apparently set photos from Scream 5, which has now wrapped production, I believe.
With Jack Quaid in it, correct?
Is Jack Quaid in it?
He is in it.
Oh!
Because they were going to call it like Scream, but the S has a 5 in it. But
they probably still will.
No, they
On
can't
the
because
posters.
it's 5 cream. So he couldn't. which was a joke on set. Which they have t-shirts with Ghostface drinking 5 cartons of milk. I think
I didn't know that.
5.
Just coming out with 5 cream just broke me.
5 cream. Scream, but the Scream has a 5 in it. Scream 5.
Yeah.
5 Scream. 5.
Yeah.
I
scream, you scream, we all scream for 5 Scream. Right. Anyway, I love the way when I mentioned it as well. Like I sounded like I sounded like Scooby Doo while I'm looking at a picture of Matthew Lillard as well.
But yeah, Jack Quaid is in that. He's been posting all about it on his Instagram.
Well then, anyway, the thing that I was going to mention is that they're trying to bring the franchise all full circle again, and they're going back to the house from the first one. Okay. I can't remember what the character's name is. The ginger
one from Scream. That'll do.
Yeah, I can't remember. Stu's house.
Yes.
Where obviously all the murders take place. Well, most of the murders take place in the first one at the end of the film. They're going back to there to tie the sequel in full circle. True legacy connections. Ooh. I'm excited for this. I like the Scream films. Do you like the Scream films, Sam?
Never watched the Scream films.
They're not even that scary, to be honest with you.
No, we've got there with...
You wouldn't understand most of the references in it anyway, because you don't watch horror films.
Well,
you
no,
wouldn't
no,
get
hang on.
it.
That's the one which takes the piss out of what's up. That's that in it.
No, that's Scary
Movie. But Scary Movie has big Scream references in it.
Yeah,
it?
yeah. The first Scary Movie is a rip-off of Scream. Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. I got there. And I've just came full circle.
Well, do you know where the name for that comes from? So the original name of Scream, that was like the shooting name and everything, was Scary Movie because it was a meta commentary on scary movies, and then they ditched that to call it Scream after the mask, the Ghostface mask that looks like the Scream painting, and then Scary Movie took the name as a homage to that.
Oh well, there you go.
There you go.
What's next on your magic list of news, Chris?
On the 1 hour fresh news, so the Teen Titans Titans is going to HBO Max now for season 3, and I think it actually airs tomorrow or today if you're listening to this the day that we put this out, because the title of the tweet was tomorrow's date, so I don't know if we're just getting a reveal tomorrow or whether it launches tomorrow.
Did you watch much of Titans? I think we spoke about this before.
I've seen,
we kind of fell off Titans.
I've seen both full seasons of it, and woof, it's bad, but I'll probably end up checking out season 3 once it's finished.
Fuck Batman.
Because I'm just trashed like that. I can't stand the show, but I like to watch it kind of to annoy myself and see how wrong they're doing it all. But the one good thing is that apparently Starfire is going to get a comics accurate costume in this. We got like a blurred out photo of her, and it looks like she's going back towards a traditional costume instead of, like, I'll be honest with you, she does kind of look a bit like a hooker in the rest of the series. Like, she's wearing like a tiny purple leather latex dress and a fur coat. Mm-hmm. I think people in the show have even referenced the fact that maybe she doesn't look entirely appropriate. No. But I think this season might follow more on from what was left over from season 2 of her sister trying to get her to go back, or her sister trying to kill her so her sister can take the throne of whatever the planet is called that she's from. So I reckon that's going to be a major plot point in season 3.
Yeah, okay.
So that might be why we get the comics accurate costume. Maybe we get flashbacks to her on her home planet.
Well, I've got another bloody DC-related news story.
Oh, it's all bloody DC, innit?
DC! But we'll talk about this more in trailers, because there's just a little bit more of a behind-the-scenes look at Deathstroke with his new haircut. Going to be in the Snyder Cut. Have you seen his haircut? It's a proper Hawkeye haircut, really.
Yeah, he's got the Hawkeye white mohawk, hasn't he? So we knew that he was returning for reshoots, Joe Manganiello, and then about a week later we saw him with that haircut, and we weren't sure if they were related or not. But judging by those photos, they are, and I'll be honest with you, he does look cool. Joe Manganiello is a great Deathstroke.
Yeah, I think the Hawkeye memes are in full force at the minute, but the thing is you can cover that with a mask anyway, right? It's like,
yeah, he wears a
You're
mask.
see him when he's under when he takes the mask off. When he gets onto the boat and he speaks to Lex Luthor and he's like, "You want to start some kind of evil Justice League?
Legion of Doom.
You want to start some kind of
Justice League?
Some kind of Legion of Doom?
What are we, some kind of Doom Legion?"
Anyway, some kind of Doom Patrol. Oh, wrong team.
No.
But yeah,
Suicide Squad. Oh wait, no, wrong one again.
Look, I'm just kind of happy we're going to see this iteration of Deathstroke, because we got this teased by Ben Affleck absolutely yonks ago. So give it to me. Let me see it.
I reckon we might be getting a team up if we've got Deathstroke back, if we've got Lex Luthor back, if we've got
and you've got
Joker back,
Leto back, Jared Leto, Jared Leto back as a road weary Joker.
Yeah,
you may full well get a bit of a bloody team up, maybe.
Oh, maybe a bit of an in just this league.
Anyway,
in just this news, we also more DC news. A casting call has apparently gone out for the Green Lantern series, which gives us a look at 3 characters we will be seeing inside the show. So the first one,
so not for us to be jumping onto as extras like we were talking about last week. No,
I mean we could still try. So first of all, Guy Gardner. Whoa!
Oh,
do you know anything about Guy Gardner?
About as much as what Google can tell me in the next 2 seconds.
Okay, so here's the casting call description: white male, 30s, a hulking mask of masculinity, as rendered in the comics. Guy is a personification of hyper patriotism found in the 1980s, birthed from Hulk Hogan and Rambo. However, Guy is still likable. He might act foolish, but he is not a fool. Guy loves his daughter and wife with all his heart, with all his hard partying, fast driving, and hot-tempered heart. But like many alpha males, there is a deep undercurrent of pain driving it all.
Is that Kilowog?
No, that's Guy Gardner.
Oh, okay, I'm just checking.
I said it was Guy Gardner. This is a bit of a different version of Guy Gardner than I've always seen. Guy Gardner's always been like a brash dickhead. Like he's a redhead with a red hot temper as well. This is a bit different. Like he's got a wife and a daughter. They're still keeping the party and the fast driving, the hot tempered heart, and all that sort of stuff. The alpha male stuff. But when he says he's still likable, I've always found Guy Gardner really unlikable, but in a likable way. Like he's a dickhead, but you kind of like, yeah, go on then. He's a bit of a cool dickhead. So yeah, that's the first one. The second one is Bree Jarter. Black female 30s. Few lanterns take their commitment to the core and its purpose more seriously than Bree. Bree is a half human, and it's the half she's working hard to forget. Bree has an alien mother and a human father. However, she was raised on a more enlightened planet with an advanced society. Bree outworks her peers and earned her ring only to find herself partnered with Guy Gardner. Okay. So I don't recognize that character from the comic books, but I might be mistaken. But a half human, and she's trying to forget the human half of her because she's from a more developed planet. That's going to cause some conflict with Guy Gardner, who's a brash dickhead.
What's our third one?
Our third one, if you know anything about the comics, is Alan Scott. Do you know who Alan Scott is?
AlanSC.
Alan Scott is the original Green Lantern. He was the first Green Lantern. He's now from Earth 2. He's like the Silver Age version of him. So, white male, 28 years old. From the outside, Alan is a model of early 1940s, the image of a G-man. I'm guessing that means a gentleman? Is that a new gangster way of saying gentleman? Maybe they were trying to fit this into a tweet, so it's a G-man. Alan is handsome, clean-shaven, and well-dressed without a hair out of place. He has spent his young life trying to personify truth, justice, and the American way. Sounds like Superman. He is already a household name in LA and is seen as hero thanks to positive press coverage. However, it's all Alan's honesty there, in one huge lie that follows him. Ooh,
interesting.
He is a gay man. Ooh, a fact that in his era could cost him his job or even his entire life.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh. So we're gonna have some like time hopping characters in this, I guess, as well. Maybe a multiverse going on then if he's from the 40s and he's interacting with characters from modern day.
Well, what's quite interesting is this might tie into Black Adam because he was in Justice... Oh, hang on. Yeah, the Justice Society of America, right?
He was originally, before he was retconned to be from Earth 2's Justice Society.
Oh, right, okay. I was just wondering whether that would mean that you have any kind of tie-ins to, like, Hawkman or Dr. Fate or anything like that. Maybe.
Yeah, because he has been on teams with all those characters in the past. Like I said, he's from like the Golden Age. So like you said, you are correct in saying it is like very much Justice Society stuff. So there is a possibility there for crossover if they want to put a lantern in the Black Adam film.
Very cool.
So yeah, casting calls.
Very good.
Speaking, do we want to speculate? No, we don't, because who the fuck's going to be playing him on a HBO Max show? It could literally be anyone.
Speaking of HBO Max, if we didn't cover it already last week, Wonder Woman 84 is going to be moving to HBO Max.
Yeah, so it's coming out in selected cinemas around the world on Christmas Day, and it's apparently also going to be coming to HBO Max on Christmas Day and maybe other streaming services later on in January.
Hopefully some kind of streaming service that the UK would be able to watch it. That'd be good.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, open the cinemas in the UK because I want to see this.
Yeah, sometimes these things like normally go on to like Sky or something, don't they? Whenever it's
sometimes like exclusive box office in the Sky, where you have to
might be
in
on
the
like
Sky
Now TV
on
or
Sky,
maybe.
Yeah, where you have to pay like a premium to get it and stuff.
Maybe,
or maybe it'll be maybe a Amazon Prime jobby where you have to pay a premium.
Yeah, I'd do that though on Christmas Day to watch.
Because on Amazon Prime you could watch Doom Patrol through different services on there and stuff where you have to pay a premium. So possibly they had Doom Patrol. Netflix has Titans though, which is the licensing's fucking all over the place. So who knows with the UK?
Who knows? Yeah, that's cool. And just a quick mention as well. Moving on from DC, unless you've got anything DC related.
No, I believe that's it. Oh, there's rumors that after the way that the Snyder cut. This is a Roos Loomer, by the way.
Our favorite rumors.
Our famous correspondent, Roos Loomer, that apparently Zack Snyder might be getting another DC project after Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Very cool.
I've been hearing that he could potentially be the future for DC again, but
that's
who knows?
Ironic,
that's just a Roos Loomer.
You might want to see how the Snyder Cut goes first before jumping in on that.
I've seen a few places saying it, but I don't know if they're just more think pieces more than hard evidence.
We got some bloody behind the scenes of Ms. Marvel, didn't we? Kamala Khan.
Oh, we did.
Captain Marvel.
Aye.
In her spacesuit.
Yeah, she's dressed up as Captain Marvel for, it looks like Halloween, with one of her mates dressed up as like a wacky scientist or something, like trying to get onto somebody's porch, which is a bit sus. Why is she trying to break into a house? Is she trying to... Bit sus. Is she trying to sneak in after dark? Maybe she shouldn't have been out for Halloween. Maybe.
Quick, Chris. Emergency meeting. I think Kamala Khan's a bit sus. Should shoot her out the airlock, Chris.
We found the imposter.
Kamala Khan. It is. It's not Captain Marvel. It's Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel
Also,
when she takes the out costume off. Oh.
It's interesting. I wonder if they're going to make her an Inhuman like she is in the comic books, and so are they redoing the Inhumans in the MCU? Because I know they've tried to sort of get rid of the Inhuman series because it was dog shit.
You never know. You never know. Anyway,
or in other MCU news,
more.
Deadpool 3 has been confirmed.
It
is carrying on with the MCU, but we don't know if it's going to directly tie into the MCU yet.
Is it Deadpool 3, but the E has a 3 in it?
I mean, if they're smart, they would.
The 3 pool.
Do you reckon he's going to do something silly with the poster where it's like him with like fake Wolverine claws or something for the 3?
Yeah, they're getting pretty on the nose with it all now, aren't they? So
yeah, so Kevin Feige has committed to a Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds. We don't know if it's going to be set in the MCU or whether it's going to be in like its own little pocket thing. You know how it interacted with some of the Fox properties and stuff, but it was like a mishmash of all of them, and he was sort of aware of all the different versions of Professor X and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing is we are getting the Molyneux sisters, I believe I saw that the sisters. Let me check the names. Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux. So, yeah, sisters. They're the ones being helmed to write it at the moment. They are writers for Bob's Burgers. So, great comedic writers. They have done some other stuff, but I'm blanking on what they've done right now. I did see it in other articles. They wrote Zombieland. That's what it was.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
So it's happening. It's happening. And the Deadpool movie Instagram has tweeted out a picture of Bob from Bob's Burgers with Deadpool's katanas on his back.
Incredible. Incredible. So it begins.
Yep.
So it begins. Right. I mean, that's all. Is that it in terms of news, mate? You got anything else?
I think so.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to trailers. So, in terms of trailers, we should probably first talk about, we just spoke about it, a little bit of a recap on that new Snyder Cut trailer. It is basically the first trailer with a few extra bits in it, but it's still hallelujah.
It's just in colour now, isn't it? And it's got.
No, it was in black and white last time I saw.
What, the new trailer?
The new trailer was still in black and white for me.
You sure you watched the right one? I'm sure it was in colour for me. I'm pretty sure I saw.
Excuse me. Let me have a little look.
I'm trying to remember now. I'm trying to remember.
Unless you're kind of colourblind, or... Did it have the Steppenwolf in it for the second trailer?
The new one did, yeah, and that's why... Because I've got the image of him in my head, but I'm not sure if...
Oh, you know why? Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder
is he mates with Roos Loomer by any chance?
He could full well be. With MBO Hacks. With his favourite streaming service, MBO Hacks. No, bloody... He put it on Twitter in black and white, so that's why I'm thinking it's black and white. No, it was released in colour. God's sake. Anyway, we got more of a look at some other bits. We got some looks at Cyclops being sad that other people are playing football and he's a Cyclops and Cyborg.
Cyclops. It's a multiverse where Cyclops from the X-Men's in it.
Cyborg. That's
He's
not the
just
first
pissed off
time.
because he's a Cyclops.
That's not the first time either. But
no, it's
you know
really
what? I like some. I'm excited. You know, I don't know whether it's the soundtrack and whatever, but I like what they're doing with Cyborg. I like what they're doing with Barry Allen. I like how they're just.
You mean they're actually doing something with them, and that's
doing
what you like?
with them, which is
instead of being the most wasted characters in the film.
You know, but it makes sense because what's the guy's what's Cyborg's name?
Ray Fisher.
Right? No, that's the actor.
Oh, Victor Stone.
Victor Stone. Victor Stone. He sees his dad get taken out, absolutely fatalitied by the mother box.
Absolutely Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah, which is cool because you would think that Victor Stone would go through more trauma in the Justice League.
Yeah, instead of just being there like, oh, fuck this, now I can fly, look at me fly in your apartment.
Yeah, it makes sense because he's directly incorporated into a mother box, you know what I mean? So I think it'll be good. I think it's the right thing spreading it out over that many different seasons. Seasons. It's like a limited series, isn't it?
Episodes.
So it's 3, 4, 5 different episodes or whatever. I'm just excited to see what happens with it. Are we going to be saying hallelujah when it comes out? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know. I kind of watched it. I was like, what was the point in this trailer? Except for that scene with the kids playing football. What was the point in the new trailer? But hey, it's a new trailer. It didn't even have a final release date yet. I thought that was what was going to be good about the trailer. I thought, okay, we're going to get a release date. Nope, no release date. Anyway, from DC to MCU, and from MCU to just Tom Holland.
From Tom Holland to Star Wars just to Daisy Ridley.
I mean, both of them together, back to Star Wars for Rogue One for Mads Mikkelsen, and then over to Jumanji for...
we're talking about Chaos Walking, guys.
Yeah. So, this is not what I thought this film was going to be. From like the weird descriptions that we had so far and the only screenshot that we had from it, it looked like they were just sort of lost in a jungle and it was like a survival film. It's totally not that, so I was totally wrong with whatever this film is about. So all the women on the planet have disappeared, but then Daisy Ridley crashes back to Earth and she's a human woman from a spaceship. And all the men can have their thoughts projected outside of the head. And it's Mads Mikkelsen's keeping some secrets about what happened to the women, and there's an alien guy, and I thought this seemed pretty fucking cool. I don't know about you.
So apparently this is based on a really successful book, I've heard.
A bestseller, you could say.
A bestseller, some would say.
A New York Times bestseller, other people would say.
Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. The premise is there. It's good to see Daisy Ridley in something new.
Yeah.
I'm
still using a native accent as well.
Yeah, very good. She's blonde.
She is. That took me a while.
And is there a ship of more Daisy Ridleys? Who knows?
Oh, is it more Daisy Ridleys or just more women? I thought it was just going to be more women.
Well, I mean more women, but maybe more women like Daisy Ridley. More Daisy Ridleys. Loose rumour.
Roos Luma.
Sorry,
I mean, I would not say no to more Daisy Ridleys.
I hope your girlfriend doesn't listen to this podcast, Chris. be having words.
She will be having words. She'll file a complaint. She'll leave us a 1-star review instead of a 5-star review, which everybody else should go leave us a 5-star review on Podchaser. Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should also go follow the socials as well and support our sister podcast, Get Real Gaming. Just saying.
We don't mention this soon enough, do we?
We got into a habit of talking about it at the top of the episode, and then this week we just forgot, but I got it in there. Anyway, what do you think of this film? Do you think it looks cool? Are you going to go watch it?
Maybe. A cinema's open yet? No. A cinema's going to be open? I hope so.
It's also releasing on streaming, so...
Oh, okay.
It just didn't say where. It just said digitally, so...
Yeah, we'll see. I remember seeing photos of this ages ago, right? Did it go to a... what am I looking for? like a Cannes Film Festival type, or
I can't remember.
No,
I can't remember if it made it there or what.
I just remember it must have just been behind the scenes photos that I saw from absolutely ages ago. But Nick Jonas is also in this.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Sorry.
When I jumped over to Jumanji, I might not have got his name fully out. I think I might have just said Jonas.
Okay. Very good.
I'm excited to see Tom Holland lead in some more cool films.
Yeah,
do you know what? This reminds me of like
more.
I've had like this idea floating around in my head for like a story or something where it's like, what if all women could just like read your minds, but like it was like a secret code between women that they just don't mention it to men. It's like the biggest like secret in history. It's like how the world would change if that was like the case and stuff.
I mean, you would never be able to play poker ever again.
Not against women anyway. Against other men you could.
Well, yeah, you could. Unless it's like this film, in which case that men can read.
No, my idea wasn't like that. No, but I was like, what if like if you tell a man about this, then you lose the ability to read mind.
Those aliens look pretty creepy though, don't they?
Yeah, they look like New Steppenwolf without the horns
and without the face.
Without the face. Yeah. Also, I finally realised, I can't remember what the character's called, but like Darkseid's like weird little technomancer guy in the hood.
Oh yeah.
He looks the spitting image of the assassin guy from Ready Player One. The guy with the skull in his chest.
Assassin Ready Player One. Yeah, because that's part of Darkseid's little crew, innit? So.
His little gang from Apocalypse. The New Gods.
I can't find it. Oh, yeah. No, I found it.
With the skull in his chest.
Yeah, it does a bit, actually, doesn't it?
Voiced by Weasel from Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, it does a bit.
They got the same face.
Yeah.
Just like Doomsday looked like one of the trolls from The Hobbit. Do you reckon Warner Brothers are just reusing old assets?
Essentially. Absolutely.
Okay, next trailer, One Night in Miami. Sam.
Yeah, you can take it away with these because I've not seen these.
Oh, I thought you had when you were saying yeah to it earlier. I
saw them on the source of our trailers, but I didn't watch it because I didn't look very interested in it.
So, One Night in Miami comes out on Amazon Prime on January 15th. This is the synopsis. On the night of February 25th, 1964 in Miami, Cassius Clay, also known as Muhammad Ali, joins Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X as they discuss the responsibilities of being successful black men during the civil rights movement. So this has got Eli Gore, I think is how you pronounce that, Goree, Gore or Gorey. Aldous Hodge, Leslie Odom Jr. I also had it up on here. Who else is in it? Kingsley Ben Adir is playing Malcolm X. It's all faces that you'll recognise from films lately. Eli Gore, what was he? I recognise him. I'm struggling to figure out what I recognise him from.
Can't help you there, mate.
It's none of them shows. Come on. Not Wikipedia. Wikipedia always lets me down. IMDb.
This is my favourite part of the podcast where we're like, we can't think of something and then we have to like Google it on the spot, but then Google doesn't.
I mean, he was in Godzilla, but that's not. I'm recognising Riverdale. He's in Riverdale. There you go. He plays Mad Dog in Riverdale. That's where I recognise him from. Probably shouldn't recognise him from that, but I can't stop watching Riverdale. This seems like a really interesting film, and all the actors look like they're putting in a great performance. The guy who's playing Muhammad Ali is recreating loads of his famous boxing fights and stuff as well. He looks absolutely shredded for this role. But the main thing for me that I noticed as well, this is directed by Regina King. So you'll know Regina King if you've seen any of the films I'm about to list off. She was the lead in the Watchmen 2019 series. She was in If Beale Street Could Talk. She was in Boys in the Hood. She was in Daddy Daycare. She played the mum, Eddie Murphy's wife in Daddy Daycare. What else was she in? Big Bang Theory. American Crime was the series that I believe she was leading in. The Leftovers she was in. Yeah, she's been in loads of stuff. You'll know her face if you search for her. Legally Blonde 2 she was in. Legally Blonde 2 and Miss Congeniality 2. You'll know her if you look at her face. But she has been getting into directing. She's been directing a lot of stuff for TV. She directed an episode of This Is Us and everything like that. She was on the round table, I think it was Vanity Fair or Hollywood Reporter round table for being a producer and director. But this is the first film, by the looks of it, that she did a TV movie, but this is the first like big movie that she's directed, so that's great on her. An upcoming black female director. Let's go. So that is on Amazon Prime on January 15th. Next trailer after that, we have I watched the one for Let Them All Talk. It was a Meryl Streep HBO Max film. She's a struggling author. I didn't think it looked that interesting, to be honest. It didn't look like my type of film. It's Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep's obviously doing a fantastic job at acting in it. It just didn't seem like the story was very engaging to me. Like, I've seen enough films about struggling authors and stuff, I think. That was my takeaway from it anyway. It might turn out to be amazing, and I'm just like shitting on it because it didn't look for me, but that's it. The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone, we got a featurette for, and we got a full-length trailer for. And it basically had Francis Ford Coppola talking through what it is. So basically, he's gone back to his original film and re-edited it, and what he's done is he's taken the original name. He wanted to call it Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone, originally. But I can't remember who put out this film. Was it Warner Brothers or something like that? They wanted him to just call it Godfather Part 3 to fit in with the other two. He's reorganized some scenes and stuff, and this is like, he feels like this is his version of the film now. And it feels more like a coda. So a coda is a musical term. Sam, you'll know this.
Okay.
As a musician yourself, it's sort of like an epilogue. It's normally used in orchestral stuff and stuff like that. A coda is like the last stage of a song and stuff. So this felt like his coda. This felt like his epilogue to the Godfather trilogy. It's got a new beginning and a new end. He said he's reorganized the stuff in the middle. So I'm intrigued to see how it changes it.
It
So
sounds
that's
pretty
that.
intriguing. Cool.
He's gone back and re-edited the whole thing, and it looks good as well. I feel like some of the stuff was restored and upgraded. So this is releasing on Blu-ray and digital December 4th, I think it said. I might be wrong on that, but it's also being released in select cinemas as well.
All right, cool. Sounds awesome.
And then Tom and Jerry, the trailer. Did you see this trailer?
I did see this trailer, yes. It looks pretty good, you know?
It does, you know, like they've kept. It's obviously 3D animation, but it's made to look almost 2D. But they're in the real world now. You got Chloe Grace Moretz and some other characters in there. It looks fun. It seems like classic Tom and Jerry action, like being hit by irons and your head turning into the shape of the iron and stuff like that. Tom recreating Batman. When he flies up into the clouds and stuff. It looks funny. It looks like I saw the trailer on mute a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh, this seems bad." And then when I saw it with sound, it seems alright. And they've not made Tom and Jerry talk and stuff like that, which would have been kind of off-putting and stuff. Sure, why not? And then the last one is Pieces of Woman. So this is coming out in cinemas December 18th in select cinemas, but it's coming out on Netflix in January. So they're clearly going for the Oscar nod with this. Let me read you the synopsis because it puts it better than how I would describe it. After losing her baby, a woman embarks on an emotional journey while navigating her grief and a fractious relationship with her husband and mother. So basically, Vanessa Kirby, who was in Hobbs and Shaw, she was the one in Mission Impossible Fallout, the leader of the other group that Tom Cruise goes to join up with.
Oh, yeah.
She was in The Crown. She played young Princess Margaret. And and it's got Shia LaBeouf in there as well.
Cool.
It's got Shia LaBeouf in there. Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. So she decides to have the child at home, and complications arise, and she ends up losing the baby. And then there's stuff to do with like a court case in there and stuff. But it seems like a beautifully shot, really introspective, like emotional drama. It's also got Eliza Schlesinger in, the comedian that we like.
Oh yeah.
She's in this.
Okay.
I didn't remember seeing her in the trailer, but she's on the cast list. Yeah, it seems amazing. I've seen a lot of comments underneath it saying like, this seems like a award contender. Shia LaBeouf's choosing great films. Vanessa is incredibly undercast, so I'm excited to see her in this. People saying that it is going to be an Oscar bait movie. A lot of people are comparing it to Marriage Story as well, I think, because it's coming out sort of like end of the year, and it's a real big Netflix drama that looks like it could be an award contender. So that I think that's where the similarity is coming from. Obviously, it's like a fractured relationship and stuff, so I think that's where people are getting that from.
Okay, cool.
I think it looks absolutely incredible, and also straight off the bat, I recognise the song that was being used in it. So it's a Bon Iver remix of a track. I've closed the artist name down, but straight away I knew it. I was like, that sounds like Bon Iver right there. Just to make everything else seem even more sad, because his music is so emotional anyway.
Yeah.
So good on Vanessa Kirby. Hopefully she does get something for this film if it's as good as it looks. That's pretty much it, really. We had a trailer for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, but that's not like anything major. That's like a short little reunion documentary.
Yeah, it wasn't like a full...
It's
trailer.
not like it's not like a
trailer.
new story in that. Yeah, it's a behind the scenes reunion. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sick. Right, cool. Shall we move on to The Mandalorian and chat a little bit
we
about Mandalorian?
should.
We absolutely should.
Oh.
So, as you've probably realised, every episode right now, we've had to do our weekly Mandalorian catch-up because we need to talk about The Mandalorian every week. So even though it's not in the title, we're talking about it, aren't we? So...
It's a big old Star Wars bonanza this episode.
Bonanza, as people
get
would
two
say.
lots of Star Wars. Look at you guys.
Double the Star Wars. So, yeah. Wow. What an episode, mate.
What was this episode called? The Siege, was it?
The Siege, yeah, The Siege.
Episode 4, we're halfway through the season now, and we keep saying this in the group chat. No filler.
No, this was trying to be a filler. But it was just
this definitely was
filler.
not filler.
Well, it was like a stop-off. You know what I mean? It was like the most exciting stop-off that The Mandalorian could have done.
Yeah.
It was like people were saying, episode 2 was a little bit filler, wasn't it? It was a little bit filler. But, this is zero filler. This was just all over. Bam, 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 bam. Just so much. Like, so much.
It felt like a nice callback to the Prison Break episode from last season as well.
Yes, it did a bit. Yeah, it was just so much stuff going on.
Directorial debut for Carl Weathers.
Yes.
My mate.
He did an amazing job.
He did.
Did a great job, Carl.
So,
great work.
Do we want to talk about the big implications from this episode
So the whole thing is pretty good, right? We'll say that the whole thing's pretty good. The big things from this was there was a tease halfway through of a particular figure in a particular tank that had a particular theme played in the background.
So just quickly to run over what happened in the episode. Basically, what's his character's called now? Cara Dune.
The tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Let us regale you with the story. It's not the type of stories the Jedi would teach. What's Carl Weathers' character called?
Grief Karga.
Grief Karga and Cara Dune get Mando to help them out, taking out a new Empire facility.
Your new empire?
My new empire! You keep putting me off. Sorry. So they're taking them out on whatever the planet's called that they were on in season 1, so that it can be like a fully like away from the Empire. This is like, it can be a new trade route planet and everything. Bounty hunting is like a minimum. They've got like schools there and everything now. It's like a nice little utopia, but there's still this Imperial base on there, which we find out is the cloning facility, maybe, where Baby Yoda was being kept in season 1, which leads us on to carry on, like you were saying, a certain character in a certain tank, maybe trying to make the sequel series make sense.
So, we haven't got a confirmation of what exactly the fuck was happening here, but we can all pretty much safely assume that this was all part of the Emperor's plan that we see come to fruition in The Rise of Skywalker, right? So who we see in a back tank looks very much like a very, very in-process Supreme Leader
Proto-Snoke.
Yeah,
Proto-Snoke.
Looks like an Alpha Snoke, doesn't it? So,
Pre-alpha Snoke.
Pre-Alpha Snoke. So, and you hear the theme, you hear the boom, you hear the drone that's just iconic from that moment in Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin walks in and then he hears the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and then you hear it in the Force Awakens when he's first introduced, and wow.
In the throne room scene and stuff.
They were using Baby Yoda's blood to make Snoke Force sensitive because they grew Snoke. So they were putting his blood into it, and that's how Snoke had the Force.
Yeah, so that's also how they were thinking that, because for Palpatine to take over a new host body, they need to be Force sensitive as well. So they were giving it the blood to make it Force sensitive because they were taking it from a Force sensitive Baby Yoda. I like the fact that they just said the blood has a high M count to call back to the midichlorians without triggering too many fucking midichlorian haters.
Yeah.
That was a nice little sidestep. But we had that whole speech given by the clone scientist that we got from season 1.
Yeah. It's all quite too much, some would say. It's all a little bit too much.
Like, where's this going in the future?
Yeah, and is that it? Is this all we hear of it, and that's it? Now it's done.
I don't think it can be. Like, this seems too tied into Baby Yoda's backstory for them to let it go. And the whole thing, because it's linked to Moff Gideon and everything, and that report was going to Moff Gideon. Also, who was the I forgot how they worded it. They had somebody basically donating samples to them.
The donor. I don't know.
Donor, yeah. The donor. So they had like a secret donor, and they were trying not to harvest too much from the donor before it killed him, the same way that they almost killed Baby Yoda.
Was that not when they were talking about it? Were they not just referring to Baby Yoda as the donor?
No, I think they referred to somebody else as well who was giving him like the DNA for like the body almost, which might have been Palpatine's son.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Because we know he had a naturally born son, which is then the father of Rey. Which is why he might have been able to go into Rey, because it had the genetic code and she was also Force sensitive.
Oh, it's all a lot. It's all a lot to take in.
But it seems like they're working hard to make The Rise of Skywalker make sense as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like how... But is The Mandalorian the place to do this?
I don't know if it's going to be offshot into a different series, you know, like just like laying the groundwork, how they lay the groundwork for loads of Darth Maul stuff, and then Clone Wars, Clone Wars, and then Rebels finished off his story and stuff.
Yeah, true that. Good point.
Like they like to do this stuff with like the side stuff, you know, that like the basic fan doesn't need to know. If you're just going to go and see the Star Wars films, you don't need to know this stuff, but it's to subsidize a material. Like to anyone that's seen the films, Darth Maul died to Obi-Wan, and that was it until Solo came out.
Yeah.
So
until the Clone Wars came out.
Yeah, but I mean, like the basic cinema goer that just watched is the main series films. They haven't watched the Clone Wars. They didn't know that. So like, it's just like extra material that you can get if you want to, if you're a major Star Wars fan. Yeah. So it's like, if you just went to watch Rise of Skywalker, it is what it is. But now if you're watching this, it'll explain everything.
So a couple of my other little favourite moments from the Mando, which was just an incredible episode.
Yes.
The voice of that C-3PO, that female C-3PO droid at the beginning, sounded a lot like L337 from Solo. Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. It sounded like halfway between her, which is Phoebe Waller-Bridger.
Yeah.
And I also thought it sounded a bit like Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I definitely heard that. I don't know whether that turned out to be someone, but I think we probably would have known by now if that was somebody or not, I guess.
Mandalorian.
Okay, well, while you look at that then.
Season 2. Yeah, carry on talking.
Like, they just continue this thing of Baby Yoda being on the scran all the time. And I like how it confirms that macaroons are actually a snack of the future.
Space macaroons.
Yeah, space macaroons are a thing. Have you found out yet? Teacher droid was Catherine Elise Drexler.
There you go. You got there faster than I did. I literally just got it.
She was in the old guard. She was additional crew in the old guard.
Okay. Well, no, we don't know then.
No, we don't know her. It does sound a lot like Gwendolyn Christie, though, to be fair.
Yeah. I thought the same thing as you. I was like, is that Gwendolyn Christie? Is that also maybe Phoebe Waller-Bridger? Because I remember when we saw Solo, and before I knew who did the voice for her, I thought she kind of sounded like Gwendolyn Christie, L3. So I think they just have very similar voices to me.
You know how we spoke a while ago about how The Mandalorian kind of places the things that are quite nostalgic about the original trilogy in like a more modern media. It's like obviously up-to-date graphics and everything. I got so much of that from this episode with like the speeder bikes and just all the classics, like when they go to that when they go to the core and they have to destabilize it. It's very much like Obi-Wan in the Death Star.
And you get a nice joke about the fact that there's never any guardrails on any of these really precarious ledges that they have everywhere.
And I got
like, why is the control unit over the fucking lava on a 2-meter thin thing?
And I love the whole thing of when you see that person fall down from the top and it like falls past and the stormtroopers watch him like go into the lava. It's almost like a funny reference for the holiday special that we just got, to be fair.
Yeah. I had a feeling that it might have conked the other two on the head and they fell into the lava as well.
Yeah. Funny though. Very good.
Yes.
TIE fighters again. Those weird TIE fighter wings that like fold out. It seems to just be a Mandalorian thing. It's not something that I've seen in anything else yet.
No. I loved in that thing as well. We spent a lot of time inside the cockpit with them as well. It looked like really cool to see inside the cockpit a lot more as well.
Yeah.
But also, something that somebody pointed out in an Easter egg video as well, all the inside of the cockpits were all full of like dust and ash and stuff that was floating around in the lighting. So you know, as like they were jumping in as that thing was erupting with lava. Got some like ash in there and stuff. Like attention to detail like that was mental.
Yeah, and they probably don't use them that much anymore either. So they probably are quite
just a bit dusty
and stuff.
Just a bit dusty.
My other favourite thing from this was the guy who didn't get out a shot in time for the filming. Who is an official
He's now
in
canon.
Yeah, he's got his own page on the Star Wars wiki, I think.
Yeah, it was a joke when you sent this in the chat earlier. What did they call him? Captain Blue Jeans.
Admiral Blue Jeans White Shirt or something. I don't know. Something stupid. But hilarious. And then, the whole Baby Yoda with the arms up in the air thing where he's like, just killed me. I was like that's a meme.
Like a roller coaster. Everyone's saying now that like making him into like a little bit of a brat, you know, sort of like Terrible Twos almost.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going through. Which is a perfect
he's grown up
time.
So I was going to say, this might, I don't know if it's what you were about to say, but it might link into how much he's eaten lately as well. So he's 50 years old now, and Yoda's species, we know that they have an S-curve aging process. So like they age like slowly, then rapidly, then slowly again.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's the way it works. So it might be that he's like stocking up on food before like a massive growth spurt or something.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm.
And then obviously at the end we get my favorite my favorite villain in TV,
Do you want to say his name?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Wolf. Say it again, Sam.
Giancarlo Esposito. I won't won't go too frivolous on his name.
I won't clip the mics.
No. We see him as his Moff Gideon self, which I just love. I love this like admiral or this Moff who's been trusted after the fall of the Empire to make sure that like the Emperor's contingency plans are being delivered. And I like how he's got the dark saber and stuff. He's obviously been around
ruthless
for a long time. Like such a good character, such a good actor to do it. He is working on some new types of troopers, and at first I thought, oh, this is where the Death Troopers are being kept, because if you notice, Death Troopers are a lot taller than regular ones, and they're not as humane as normal people. So I thought as normal troopers. So I thought maybe they would have been stored, but then you realise that these look a lot different, Chris. One of our friends, actually, Lawrence from the Get Real Gaming podcast, pointed out that these could look like the Dark Troopers from Jedi Knight or Jedi Outcast.
So these are actually from the...
It's hard to get a good look at them so far.
Yeah,
so.
I think he did name them right as the Dark Troopers, but I think aren't they from the Dark Forces series instead?
Oh, they may have been, yeah.
I think he might have got the game wrong, but he definitely called it right, saying Dark Troopers.
Yeah, they do look like they're not. They are going to be like.
But
robotic.
the Dark Troopers, are droids, so that'll be really interesting.
It's a good time for it, though, because you've not got a lot of people who are going to be willing to join the Empire, so why not just create your, droids instead? So, exciting to see. So, let me move on really quickly so that we can talk a little bit more about this. The next episode of The Mandalorian, Chris, is going to be called, quote-unquote, The Jedi. So I
wonder who that is.
I think next week we're finally going to get a look at Ahsoka in live action, which is incredibly exciting. Now, what if, Chris, we see these Dark Troopers land and follow Din Djarin because there is a tracker on his ship? These are deployed out to take him down.
I can't wait to see Ahsoka Tano slice through some fucking Dark Troopers and have a lightsaber battle against Moff Gideon with the fucking dark saber to get the dark saber back for Bo-Katan. Woo! Woo!
It's gonna be a big episode next week. I think, Chris, maybe our next week's episode, providing what happens in this week's episode of Mandalorian, is a pure Mandalorian episode, I think. It might have to be done. It's controversial, but it might have to be done.
It's definitely not controversial. It's definitely probably going to be done because I don't think anything else is coming out.
But yeah, no, exciting stuff. Really exciting. It's starting to really ramp up now, and I like that we're getting more of a look
halfway through
into
the season already, though. Like, we either need longer episodes or more episodes.
Yeah, but it's good that we're getting to this point and we're only halfway through the season. Like,
but it means that we need to wait another fucking year for more of this. So the last episode of this is going to come out on the 18th of December as well, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that.
So, woof.
Yeah, very excited.
So we've got less than a month left of this.
I'm very excited. Very excited. Right, I think that's anything else you want to talk about for The Mandalorian? Got it all off our chest for our excitement for next week. Maybe we should start a Mandalorian Star Wars podcast. Maybe we should start a Star Wars podcast, Chris. Right? I don't know.
Maybe we should also start a comic books podcast. Maybe if people listen to us enough, we will get sponsorships and then we can both quit our jobs and just podcast full time.
That'd be amazing.
That would be really fucking cool.
That's the dream, bro. That's the dream.
That is. That's
or maybe the Get Real,
guys.
Maybe the Get Real Gaming guys could do really well, and then we could still quit our jobs and just
just ride on their coattails,
ride on their success.
Nah, I think a rising tide raises all ships. So I think we all need to do well, and then we can all quit our jobs.
Yes, I like it. Right. Yeah, I think that's it. Should we talk about the holiday special?
I think we should.
Can you hear that, Chris? Can you hear that noise? Jinga, 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 jinga.
What is that? Sleigh bells? Is that?
It's like
is that sleigh bells on the roof?
futuristic Star Wars sleigh bells of the holiday special.
Even though Star Wars is a long, long time ago, but somehow more futuristic than the world we're living in right now.
It's not Christmas, is it? So you'd hear in the distance, all you would hear is... And that would be the sound of Wookiees for Life Day, I believe.
Yeah. Or Wookiees for life, not just for Life Day.
Wookiees for Life Day. I said Life Day.
I know. It just made me remember that. Just like a dog's not just for Christmas.
Anyway, what did you think of this? Did you enjoy it?
Do you know what? I did enjoy it.
It was a Lego. Let's just keep in mind, it was Lego Star Wars. It wasn't like, it's different. I don't think it's as good as the Lego Warner Brothers films. I think they are definitely better. I think this was good. I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was at the age demographic it was aimed for. Yeah,
but I did love all the little callbacks and sort of like witty jokes, like
so many,
like taking the piss out of the 9 films now, like the entire franchise.
Yeah, it's like they went on the meme hunt and found all the memes that have ever been dropped, and then used them in this.
So, do you want to? I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to go through your favorite moments? Should we give it like a brief overview of the story and then?
Yeah. So the brief overview is how much do we? I mean, is this something that we worry about spoilers for? Nah. It's the Star Wars. It's Life Day, Chris. It's
Life Day.
Right, so basically, Rey's trying to teach Finn how to be a Jedi after it's massively teased in The Rise of Skywalker, which was
I was literally about to say, like, she's just there, like, you are a fucking Jedi, you're gonna be a Jedi, and I was like, they're acknowledging the things that they missed out from Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, there was a lot of that,
there was a lot of jokes towards Rise of Skywalker in this.
Yeah. Also towards the prequels as well, to be fair. Like a lot of, you know what, they're aware of it. You know what I mean? They're not pulling the wool over their eyes and saying, no, it was a perfect film and it didn't have its flaws and you shouldn't say bad things about it. But no, it was good. You know what I mean? Like it's got its flaws, and they hit them. They talked about them and took it really well, I think.
Yeah, I think because it's a Lego property as well, they can get away with it.
Yeah, because
they can really get away with it.
Would you say it's canon? Is this canon?
No.
Would you have to say like they all suddenly became Lego people for it to be canon?
You would have to say that, and it's just not. It's just not canon. It's not canon that there was Rey and another version of Luke at the fight against the end of Return of the Jedi.
Imagine. Yeah.
So Rey goes.
I'd hope the training bit's canon. I'd hope at least like the first 10 minutes of this was canon.
Yeah. That's our head canon anyway. That'll probably be made canon in a comic book or something. So yeah, Rey goes journeying through time to see all the connections between master and apprentices throughout the Star Wars films, so she can become a better teacher for Finn. So what were some of your favourite bits or favourite callbacks?
So some of my favourite bits were the bit where I loved the nod between the world between worlds. I like how that was kind of the MacGuffin for the film. I kind of liked that because it was like it didn't have to be anything new. They just found something to do with it. My favourite moments were definitely where you see Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon sat on the Droid Federation ship, the Trade Federation
so boring.
Ship. And he's like, who cares about a trade dispute? Because I was just like, preach it, bro. Preach it. That is exactly what people thought when they watched that film.
Yeah, I love, like, it was so funny, just like, they made, like, Obi-Wan into such a brat in that first film.
Yeah. I liked the Kylo topless meme. It was just so funny. Like,
chunky Kylo, yeah.
Just the whole portrayal of Hux in that, how he just kind of walks in and then he like walks out, and it's like it's just hilarious.
Can't start making jokes about his abs and his nipples.
Yeah, and then for the rest of it, I kind of just enjoyed the whole thing. I just kind of like, after that, I stopped making note. I made one more note that I'll tell you what it was.
I didn't even bother making notes.
Like,
as soon as it started, I was like,
yeah.
okay, no, I don't. It's not like some majorly in-depth thing.
No, I have to do that. Otherwise, when it comes to the podcast, I forget about stuff. But yeah, other than that, I just enjoyed the whole thing. I enjoyed that massive battle that they had on the dunes where it's just like Luke just drinking his blue milk, watching it. I love how
one of my favorite
clueless-
bits.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bits in that was, to bring it back to the prequels, was Darth Maul, but it's only half of Darth Maul. And he's just spinning around with his lightsaber on the floor. He's really pissed off at Obi-Wan.
And Obi-Wan's like, it's like past Obi-Wan, and he's looking at him like, but I don't even know you. Because it's before, like, because the way that they took him would have been before they'd actually been encountered in Phantom Menace, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love that. How you've got like the different characters from just different parts where it just doesn't make sense. But I loved how clueless they made the farm boy Luke, and just how utterly useless he was throughout the whole thing. Yeah, funny stuff. I liked the twist on the Emperor. My favourite meme that they touched upon was definitely when Greedo walks in on Life Day and he says McClunky. That was so good. I was like, yes.
McClunky!
Yeah, he's like full on. He like full on embraces the McClunky. It's like, yes, very good.
You had all the Wookiees that were part of the original holiday special as well.
Yeah.
So he had his family from the original holiday special. I loved the joke as well when Palpatine's talking to Kylo. He's just there like, so tell me more about this Supreme Leader thing. How am I ruling the galaxy? He's like, well, I've got a fucking story to tell you. But then later on, he's like, oh, you got thrown down a radiator, what was it? A reactor core shaft, but we all know there's no coming back from that. Ooh, or is that? Because this was Kylo Ren from the Last Jedi as well. Just after the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's just after the Last Jedi, but before the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, just hilarious. Just all like the foreshadowing of the things we know about.
The digs to Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a nice short watch as well. Like, it's nice because even though it's Lego...
47 minutes it was.
Would you reckon this is something that you might then watch again? Could you consider this like a Star Wars Christmas film?
I mean, kids might do, but I definitely probably won't revisit this.
Might revisit it for a good laugh. When we look back on these moments...
Maybe when we've got kids and we're like getting them obsessed with Star Wars as we are, because that's the plan.
Yeah,
we need to breed the next generation.
They do not have a choice. Like, honestly, good luck to our kids in the future.
I'm like, as soon as like if I have a son, it's getting like a Robin costume from the day it's born. It's gonna love Star Wars. Star Wars the next generation. We're gonna crossbreed with Star Trek.
The hilarious thing, and I feel really sorry for our kids, but their dads are gonna have, it's gonna be like, whoa, when they're at school, it'd be like, I found this thing online of your dads talking about really nerdy films.
It's going to be the embarrassing dad moment in high school where it's just there like, your dads were talking about a kid's Lego film. And then our kids are just there like, oh, you mean the Lego holiday special for Star Wars? Yeah, it's fucking great.
Like, Dad, you need to take it down. Podcasts aren't cool anymore in 2035.
Yeah, what will it be by then? What will be the new thing after podcasts? It was radio shows and then it was podcasts. What will it be after that? You'll probably just go back to like visual media, just like
it'll all be neuro chips in your brain, like, mate. That's what it'll be.
It's all gonna be Cyberpunk 20.
It's all gonna be Cyberpunk.
Whenever the fuck. 2077 is it? When is it?
Yeah, it's 2077, which is probably when the game's
same
gonna
year.
Be coming out.
Yeah. You got it. Just thinking of it as well while it's on my mind, that meme of, Rey when she's holding the dagger in Rise of Skywalker, and she's like, I can feel that this dagger's done terrible things. She says while wielding the Youngling Slayer 3000. She's got Anakin's fucking lightsaber.
It's always a good reference when you reference back to the younglings. You're always in for a good time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so funny. Anything else you want to say about this Lego Star Wars?
I don't
thing?
think so. I think it was a good fun watch.
I had to figure out at the beginning, for like the first 5 minutes, it really sounded like Daisy Ridley, and then after that, it sounded like somebody doing a really bad Daisy Ridley British impression. Oh, fucking blimey, I'm Daisy Ridley!
Yeah, it
sounded like my impression of Tom Holland.
Let's see if did they actually get anyone back to do any of these voices? I don't think they did
probably Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, that was it. I think they got the animated voice
he
cast.
Comes back for everything.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to do C-3PO? Not without me, you know?
I think they got the voice actors from the Clone Wars to do some of those characters, because Obi-Wan sounded just like the voice actor for Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars and stuff.
Yeah, James Arnold Taylor did Obi-Wan. Matt Lanter did Anakin Skywalker. Who else did we have? D. Bradley Baker was in there as the clone trooper and Max Rebo. Billy D. Williams did Lando, though.
Oh, excellent. I did love the Max Rebo throwback. Oh, so I love Max Rebo. He's such a funny little side character. He's like Dr. Teeth from the Muppets. I like the weird musician characters.
Yeah.
But when they were like, wait, aren't you meant to be the Max Rebo 7? And then he says something in whatever his species says. He's like, oh, my condolences. Like, all of the 6 members of the band have died since the Return of the Jedi.
God. And an interesting little fact, Matthew Wood, who's he plays General Grievous. He does the voice for Grievous in the prequel trilogy. He's done him for Clone Wars and everything. He's a sound engineer at Skywalker Studios, where we actually went to a Star Wars celebration and watched a panel with him on there.
Actually, we did, yes. We also had David S. Goyer on that panel as well, who did he co-wrote the Batman vs Superman.
He was the voice of Kylo Ren in this.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's my hot fact.
Hot fact.
You know, when you read someone's IMDb and you're just like, look, let's face it, you've had the coolest jobs since, you've done more in 2020 than what I've done since 1990-something to 2019.
Legit, it's insane. Voice actors get around so much.
I mean, he's not even a voice. He's he's sound edited so much stuff.
Oh,
ADR mixed so much stuff. It's like, bro, you.
Well, that's the thing. They can do all that stuff from home, can't they?
Mm.
D. Bradley Baker, we were talking about him last episode as well. He literally just does everything. He's the voice for everyone in everything.
Yeah.
And he's still carried on all throughout 2020.
Skywalker Sound have got the coolest jobs, man. Not only do
the
they
coolest
do all the Star
location,
Wars stuff,
Skywalker Ranch as well.
Not only do they do all the Star Wars stuff, but now they'll do all the Disney, the Marvel stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And man, if you was ever to wake up in a different life, that is what I'd like to do.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Well, I'm going to stop being sad now. Shall we wrap up this episode of the podcast, Chris?
I think so. I think that's everything that we need to talk about.
Cool. Right, okay. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at GetRealPod. Drop us an email, getrealpoduk@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought. Please stop signing us up for spam mail. It seems to have calmed down a little bit. We finally got it under control.
Yeah, do you reckon Simon listened to his last episode? He was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because he must have stuck around for the end of the episodes every time to get the email address to then send it to spam. Simon.
Damn it, Simon. We know you're out there.
I think there's another guy who started doing it as well, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
you bastards.
We'll keep them anonymous, I guess.
Yeah, don't give him the publicity.
Yeah, make sure you check out the other podcasts that we have. The gaming podcast, which is Get Real Gaming.
Also, go over there and show Richard some support. He's just had surgery. So.
Oh yeah, man, he's just gone through and he's just had a rebuild on his collarbone. He is the
bionic man now. He's had artificial ligaments put in. Woof.
Yeah, he's had some serious stuff done.
Much love, Bruder.
Much love, brother, if you're listening. And how can people support the podcast, Chris?
The best way to support the podcast, other than sharing us around to all your friends on socials, is to leave a rate and review on your favourite podcast network, or if you want to, go to Podchaser, leave us 5 stars on there and write us a review, because that'll syndicate it to all the other podcast distribution networks. But mostly, just share us with a friend. Simon, share us with a friend who's not going to send spam mail to us, or anybody else ever out there. Just share us. Like, when we post an Instagram post, just put it on your story for at least one person to see. That's all we ask.
Very good. And we'll make up for all that spam mail that you signed us up to. We'll let you off.
Yes, Simon. Also, if you want, you could just put it on repeat if you wanted as well. Just put it on Spotify on loop on 3 times speed. That would be sound.
Not being cheeky, but we wouldn't mind that.
I've seen people like that where it's if you've got a up and coming musician friend, just when you go to bed, put the songs on Spotify on loop.
Amazing. Yeah, give them that 0.005p per stream, bruh.
We ain't even looking for the dollar. We're just looking to get more listens so that we get higher up the charts, bro.
Help us quit our charts, bros and broesses.
Broesses. Yeah, if you want that Star Wars exclusive podcast, if you want a comic book exclusive podcast, if you want any of that, you gotta share us about so that we get more popular.
Yeah. Right, that wraps us up for this week. Make sure you do everything that we said at the end of this, and we will catch you next week. See you later. Bye.
McClunky.
McClunky.
You did that so much funnier.